All right, this is Chapter 3, Lesson 1, plotting points in a coordinate plane. And I think you guys are really familiar with a coordinate plane. Here, this is a picture of a coordinate plane. It has the x and y axis. It's basically a graph. That's what a coordinate plane is. And there's your coordinate plane. It's divided into 4 quadrants, as you can see, with this being quadrant 1, the one we use most often, and going counterclockwise around quadrant 2, quadrant 3, and quadrant 4. Okay. In quadrant 1, you'll notice that your x coordinates are positive and your y coordinates are positive. This is the 2 positive sides of the graph. So when you have a coordinate point, you have a positive x and a positive y. In quadrant 2, you get to the negative side of the x axis, and you're still at the positive side of the y-axis, so you have a negative x coordinate and a positive y coordinate. That's what this means. So fill that in your notes. Quadrant 3, we're down here where the x-axis is negative, and we're in the the y-axis where it's negative. So we're in the negative side of the x and the negative side of the y. So therefore, our coordinate points in quadrant 3 are negative x, negative y. And in quadrant 4, we are back to the positive x-axis, but we are still in the negative part of the y-axis. So our coordinates would be a positive x and a negative y. So therefore, you can look at coordinate points and you can tell which quadrant they would be graphed in based on whether the x-coordinate is positive or negative, and based on whether the y-coordinate is positive or negative. So let's go ahead and start. This should be review for most of you. We're going to give the coordinates of the points A and B. Okay, so here is A, and from the origin, we always start at the origin, or 0, 0. We're going to go 3 to the left, which is a negative 3 on the x-axis, and we're going to go up 4, which is a positive 4 on the y-axis. So to the left 3 and up 4 gives us our coordinates of negative 3 for the x and positive 4 for the y. And remember, a coordinate point is always written with the x-coordinate first, the y-coordinate second, because you have to find the elevator before you can go up or down the elevator. So now we're going to look over here at point B. And point B, we go to the origin and we go 2 to the right, which is positive 2, and down 3, which is negative 3. So therefore, our x-coordinate would be positive 2, y-coordinate would be negative 3. So we're going to do some guided practice. Most of the guided practice you will do after the video. Like when we do the video at home, you will do this in class, but we're going to do these 3 right here real quickly. So we're going to give the coordinates for point C, D, and E. So point C, if you go to the origin, you don't go left or right, so your x-coordinate would just be 0. So our x-coordinate would be 0, and we're going up 2, so that's a positive 2 for the y. Okay, and for D, hopefully you've done this. If you haven't, you should have paused the video to do this. For D, go to the origin. We're going to go to the right 3, so a positive 3, and up 1. So this one becomes 3, 1. And for E, our coordinates negative 2 to the left, so 2 to the left, so negative 2. 3 down, so negative 3. Sorry, negative 3. So let's see if those are correct. 0, 2, 3, 1, negative 2, negative 3. And of course we are correct. I hope you are correct. All right, plotting a point in a coordinate plane, and then it says describe the location. Okay, so we talked about quadrants. That's what the location is going to be. So here are our 2 points, point A, point B, and the coordinates. So point A, start at the origin, and since our x-coordinate is negative 4, we go to the left 4, and then our y-coordinate is positive 4, so then we go up. So negative 4, so that means to the left, and 4 up. We are in quadrant 2, and we know this because our x is negative, our y is positive. This is the negative, positive side of the coordinate plane. Okay, and to graph point B, we would go to the right 3, because it's a positive 3, and down 2, because it's a negative 2, and it would be in quadrant 4. So if you're in your assignment, we're talking about location, That's what they mean. Where is the point located? What quadrant is the point located in? Okay. And then let's look at point C. It's not up here as one of the options, so let's look at point C. And point C it would be 0, -4, which means the x, we don't go anywhere. We don't go to the left or the right, but we do go down 4. And the location of this would be just y-axis. It's not in a quadrant because it's located directly on one of the axes. A point could be on the x-axis or the y-axis. Okay, so moving on. The next example I want you to have in your notes is graphing functions. Okay, so we are given a function y equals 2x minus 1, and they're giving us the domain. Just to remind you, the domain, those are your x values. So here are our x values, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2. And they want us to identify the range, and the range, again, is the y values. Okay, so we are going to take the x values, we're going to make a table, and we're going to substitute the domain or x values into our function, which is this, and we're going to solve for our y values. So we're going to put the x of -2 into our function, and 2 times -2 is -4, and -4 minus 1 is -5. Then we're going to put the -1 into our function, and 2 times -1 is -2, and -2 minus 1 is -3, and so on. And you're going to substitute all of your your domain values in and find your range. 0 minus 1 is -1, and you should start to see a pattern here. Each of these is increasing by 2. Sorry, let's erase that. Okay, 2 times our x value here is 1, and 2 times 1 is 2, minus 1 is 1. And then 2 times 2 is 4, and 4 minus 1 is 3. So here is our domain, here is our range, and we're going to make coordinate points out of those. So we're going to take these points. Here's a coordinate point, -2, -5, -1, -3, 0, -1. So those are going to be our coordinate points that we actually graph. So here they are listed as coordinate points or ordered pairs. And we're going to graph those. So here they are graphed. And I'd like you to notice that if I drew a line, see if I can use my line tool, if it's going to work. It may not work. Well, we're going to see. All right. So anyway, if I drew a line through here, I would have an actual nice straight line. That's to tell you that this equation is a linear function. In other words, the graph of the points, of the coordinate points or ordered pairs found in this function, they create a line when graphed. It's a linear function, and I would write that if I could, but my pen is no longer working. Oh, it is working. A linear function. So if you would please write this on your notes, and I would like you to underline the word line, because the word line is in the word linear, kind of showing you that a linear function is going to have a nice straight line. Okay. Oh, that's your daily homework quiz. We will do that in class. And that's kind of an example of how the notes are going to go. Short and sweet. Do what we can in class. All right. Thanks.